with Sonji on the CoyoteMan Show Network.
Where laughter is our therapy.
With Sonji Lucy and Sekou, we're on the edge.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. You're on the edge with Sonji, and I have beautiful guests in the studio today. So you guys probably can't see my face. All you see is a beautiful picture of me praying. And as you can see, it is Donna Bruce, or I must say Donna Bruce, takeover show.
She done went and took over Sonji on the Edge show.
Donna's taking over, guys. But listen, it's a good reason why she's taking over today. And I'm about to turn the mic over to Miss Beautiful Donna Bruce.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Donna Bruce here. DonnaBruceUnlimited.com. You can find me there. Wow, I am back. I done took over the show. And guess what? It's for a good cause.
That's right.
We all know the last time I was here, I talk about the heavy topics, the topics that need to be spoken about in our communities. We were talking about Overdose Awareness Month last month.
Wow.
And we brought some awareness and Narcan training. It was amazing. And this month is Domestic Violence Month.
Yeah.
So I have an amazing person here. I have an amazing woman of God. She's a minister. She's a community leader. She's a survivor. She's the founder of an amazing organization. And I brought her on the show because her life is worth putting on the platform for everybody to see, right? That we are victorious and we are overcomers. So who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Sonji, for letting Donna take over your show. But everyone, my name is Sierra Walker. I am the founder of Dana's Daughters, Inc. It is an organization located in Baltimore that specializes in holistic healing from trauma. This organization is for women and adolescent girls ages 18 and up, because there's no limits. And the things that we deal with are all of the traumatic things that happen in our households and in our lifetimes. We don't believe in what was taught to us over and over and over again, just perpetuated in our culture, that what goes on in our house stays in our house. We have learned that secrets are what's killing our society, yes. And no longer are we living inside of silence or hiding, but now we're living out loud, we're living boldly. I'm speaking my truth. I'm living in my truth. Yes. I'm walking in my truth, and I'm bringing other people with me.
Can we just go back to that? What go on in this house stays in this house. Like,
absolutely.
If we can go back to that, like the misinformation that was given to us that we believed, right? And we sat in silence and we watched domestic violence. I remember watching my mother being beaten time and time and time again. And like she had a code and she would tap 2 times, pat, pat. That meant go call the police, right? And so we didn't have the resources in our communities to deal with that. We just ran to Jersey. We ran back and forth, in and out of state. And that's just a little bit of my, keep talking. Tell us some of your experience. Talk to us tonight.
So when I was growing up, I experienced domestic violence in my house. I was raised, I guess you would say, in a tumultuous situation. It was a lot of back and forth for me as I was growing up. So part of my time was spent at my grandmother's house, and then the other portion was spent with my mom. Whenever I went to my mother's house, back in those times, it was a lot of fighting. My mother was the aggressor, not the man. I watched my mother stab my stepfather. He almost died. I watched them getting into like many altercations, tables being broken. This was as a child. And then when I would come back home at my grandmother's house, of course, it was seemingly like everything was perfect because it was this devout Christian woman, but she was going through hell also. And so I had a grandfather who was addicted to heroin. We pretty much lived like a prisoner for a very long time. There was a lot of sexual abuse that happened as I was growing up because I was molested. I also was raped. And so I experienced a lot of things, and I could even say that maybe not in my mom's house so much, but in my own house, at my grandmother's house, because she was a Christian and we was going to church and everybody knew,
Y'all had the
Sister
facade.
Washington. Absolutely. Okay. So it's like, oh, well, Sister Washington is, like you see her shouting, you see her praising, you see her worshiping, but you don't know that we're living like prisoners. Exactly. So there's no way that I should have known what cooking heroin smelled like, what it looked like. Why did we have spoons just around the house? Why are there needles
at the bottom?
Oh yes, all the time.
Yeah, we talking about some real stuff here, because this just scratches the surface of what's happening now, and even with our young people, and we say something is wrong with them, but they're getting high for a reason. Yes, they're watching the abuse in the house. They're watching the drug use in the house, and but there's hope and there's healing and there's resources available. But people don't know that there's so many resources available until we tap into them. Like you said, a mouthful. I remember living in Flag House projects, and a lot of abuse was taken there in those projects in Baltimore. I remember seeing orange tops, right? I never knew we had so much in common until we started talking. And I remember the ambulance coming and reviving my stepfather and things like that. But the abuse was so real that it traumatized me. So coming up, I had this need of wanting to protect my mother, right? And I didn't understand why she stayed. I didn't understand the hurt that she had and the reasons that she stayed with this man who turned her on to drugs, who beat her, broke her arm, and then she had nerve to have more kids by him, right? Wow. So there was a lot of healing that had to take place for me, because I swore by goodness that I would never let a man put his hands on me. We all say that. So I seen that happen. I'm not going to let that happen to me, only to turn out to be a victim of domestic violence, human trafficking, and substance use and things like that. So, be careful what you say. Yeah. Because when you point one finger, you got plenty pointing back at you. So,
well, as children, because we don't really think about the child victimization. And so you're at the tender ages, right? And so you're constantly learning. Like, a lot of our learning is subconscious. So those things that were happening in front of you, like, wow, you knew that it was wrong. You knew that something wasn't right about it, but it becomes normalized. And so even those things that you speak out against and say, oh, I don't want any parts of that, or you're stupid, like, how could you still be here? Or why can't we just leave? And then you make these vows, like, I'll never do this. I'll never let this happen to me, to find yourself in those same cycles, because now there's something that's literally happening to your brain when trauma happens, right? And so you're changing the neural pathways inside of your mind. And it takes time to overcome that, but you don't realize it until now you find yourself in a situation. And sometimes it's a little bit too late at that moment. But like you said, healing is available to you. And
then it goes back when you were talking about how the brain changed. We're talking about ACEs, those adverse childhood experiences. Yes. My ACEs chart is way off. I think it's past 25, right? Oh, yes. So if you put an ACEs chart in front of me, you'd be like, okay, I need 3, 4, or 5 of them, because this is not enough. And then to talk about how the trauma of being that child growing up, it just travels. It grows with you. Yes. Because it's, one, we don't see psychiatrists, right? But I want to get back to, why don't they leave? If I'm being abused and I'm being mistreated physically, mentally, spiritually, like all of those things go together, why won't a person leave?
Well, I would say, for me personally, and I know that it's not just true for me, it's true for others, but in that situation, when I was in this relationship for 12 years and then I had children with this person, that now all of my finances was tied up into this person. I was being financially controlled, mentally controlled, spiritually controlled, emotionally controlled. And I think that why I didn't leave is because of the mental. So we always talk about the physical pieces. We talk about somebody being hit, but domestic violence goes beyond that. Intimate partner violence is deeper than that. And so the Bible even talks about how we're supposed to renew our mind every day. and how we're supposed to guard it. And the reason is why is because when you don't, whatever you're taking in, that's who you become, right? And so when we in these situations, this person that I thought that I loved and that I thought loved me had been controlling me the whole time. So my mind was gone. So even being in that situation and wanting to leave, I didn't know how I was going to make it on my own from the financial pieces. How am I going to take care of my children? Where are we going to live? Like all of those things were important to me because I thought I was going to be a bad mother if I left. Also, I was raised in a home where I didn't have my parents for a while. So why would I want my children not to have the two-parent home? So then you have that issue. And then the third one is my self-esteem was shot. So I'm like, who am I? Like, I don't even know who Sierra is anymore, how I'm going to survive out of this situation. So even being on the other side, I still struggle at times because I have to constantly tell myself how beautiful I am, how talented I am. Yes, it's something that you have to really be intentional about. But these are reasons why people don't leave. And it's not just limited to women, of course, but I know for sure and from my own experience that that's the reason why I didn't leave. Those are reasons why I stayed in it so long until I got the strength enough and the mind enough to be able to say, I've had enough and I need to do better.
Wow. Woo. Woo, girl. I told you I was going to, I took over the show.
Yes.
And we are getting some stuff done tonight. Wow. Thank you, Sierra. That was a lot that you shared from a professional as well as a personal point, because what's happening is people are not talking about it.
Right.
So for you to have the courage to come on and talk about domestic violence and talk about your personal life and how you're growing and how Dana's daughter was created and the people that you're helping, we appreciate that. Tell us a little bit more about your organization. Tell us some stats. Give us some statistics. Let us get in and out of here tonight. You know, do you have anything coming up? Because you are, I am a co-author for your book. Look,
Yes,
hey,
come on.
Got
some soft snaps.
snap. The book is about to drop.
Yes, it is.
The book is about to drop, right? And we have, 7 of it. Tell us about the book.
All right. So
wherever you want to start.
I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll start at the book then. So the book, wow, it makes me emotional. The book is a dream come true because I feel that I was silenced for so long and I didn't know how I was going to get my voice back. And most people see me and they're like, they see me speaking in front of people and it's like, oh, you don't have any issues, or you know, like you speak so like boldly. No, but I mean, you know, even making that statement, like, what does that mean? Right? Because most of us don't look like the things that's going on in our house. That's how we were raised. And so this book, The Greatest Story Never Told,
The Greatest Story Never Told.
Is an opportunity for women to be able to share those things that's on their heart, those secrets that they've been carrying, and to release it into the atmosphere so that not only can they be free, but the people who are reading it will be free too. And so I was given the vision. I knew that I should write a book. I was encouraged to write a book, but I wasn't quite prepared to let it all out yet. And so I was given a vision from God to be able to do this anthology, to create this platform for other women like yourself, to be able to share a portion of your story in hopes that you will one day release the full transcript, because everybody has a story and everybody needs to release this story and everybody needs a safe space to be able to do that. But the sisterhood that has been created from it.
I gotta tell y'all this. So she invited us to dinner at this little fancy restaurant, and we got there, and there was these cute little boxes that was sitting there, and they had our names on it. I still got my box.
I'm a good date, okay?
Yeah, she's an excellent date, y'all. And they had the little boxes with the names, and we were talking, and people were coming from like PG County, just from different areas, and we all met up, and I opened the box, and it said, "Will you be my co-author?"
Yes.
Will you marry me? Let's do this project. And I'm like, and I opened it up, and I'm like, co-author? You want me to write a book with you?
I still have the footage.
and the ironic part about it, and it's not ironic, it's just like how my God works in my life is, I had already had something written over a year ago, and I didn't know what to do with it. And some family members going to be upset when they read it, but it's my truth.
Exactly.
I will no longer hide behind images. I will no longer hide my truth, because I need to be set free to break those generational curses for my son that's here. And so I thank you for that opportunity. And that's December 3rd. We're going to drop it at Enoch Pratt Library.
Yes, at the library.
At the library. They open the doors up for us, and we're going to get that information to you. I'm sure if you go on our website, you can find more information about that. But it takes courage to talk about the things, and we are charged, and we understand the assignment, and we're moving forward to healing in that area. So tell us what else you got going on.
Besides the book, of course, with the organization, we host many events all year long. So we deal with fatherlessness, abandonment issues. Domestic violence is one of our biggest, though, because I think that people are finally starting to get it, how important it is and how much of an impact it has had on the community. And so this upcoming Saturday on October the 22nd, from 12 to 6 p.m., we'll be at the La Familia Creative Arts Center. And we will be hosting our annual domestic violence awareness event. The title this year is Truth Is. And so we are just encouraging all of our survivors, because I don't like to say victims, but our survivors and our thrivers, to be able to come out and to not only share their story, but hear other testimonials, do some workshops, let's do some interactive activities.
And how much is it?
It's free.
Can you say that part again?
It's free $99.
Free $99. Come on now.
Yes.
I mean, what a way to be able to give back to the community and offering a free event for, and I like to say survivor leaders, because not only are we survivors, but we're also leaders, you know, kicking down doors, opening doors for others to be able to say, me too.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. What time does it start?
It starts at 12. It's from 12 to 6 on Saturday. And the part that I'm really, really excited about is the fashion show. So Simply Tavia's Boutique has sponsored a fashion show. It's the Survivor Walk fashion show. It's going to give survivors, or survivor leaders, as you said, an opportunity to take their power back.
Yes.
Take their authority back, walk in their truth, literally down the runway in fabulous garbs, okay? Because I'm ready for what I'm going to be wearing on Saturday. She even pulled me in, and modeling is not necessarily my thing, but I'm going to do that walk on Saturday, okay?
It's so much empowerment.
Yeah.
I think this event is going to be amazing, because, again, that low self-esteem, you know, having someone beat you down for a number of years, and then to break free of it, and to just literally walk in your truth in a fashion show. And what other resources are going to be there?
So we had a surprise partnership that came up with CQ Bank.
Okay.
I received a phone call after someone that I've known for a long time. She's one of the leaders for CQ, and she's a part of the community association or advocacy board that they have there, and they partner with organizations that's doing things in the community, of course. And so what they're going to do is offer those that are either in a domestic violence situation or those that have fled free bank accounts. Wow. So they will fund the checking account, and they will fund the savings account for those that are interested in opening it up, because like I talked about in my own story, one of the reasons why I didn't leave was because of the financial piece. Like, who's going to take care of me? And so I didn't have accounts in my name. And so that would have been so helpful.
That is amazing.
So we'll be able to do that on Saturday. And after 90 days, if they do a direct deposit, they'll get $200 that's also added to their bank account for free.
Wow.
Nobody has to beg you for it or anything. So we're excited about that. We'll have some mental health professionals on site that will also be there as a resource. We have some other organizations that's affiliated with domestic violence also will be there on Saturday.
Amazing. That's amazing. Wow. This is great information. So you guys have all that information for the 22nd. Come on out. It's a free event.
Yes,
free. And it's bringing healing to the community. All right. So what else you have for us? Because I'm just so filled up from everything that you've shared, you know, because when you have the ability to be able to open up, to say, you know what, my life is not even my life. It's for someone else to lead. to learn from my life. Like, that's a lot. So
Yeah.
We covered a lot tonight.
Yes.
We covered a whole lot tonight.
Awesome
Anything
job,
else
ladies.
you want to talk to us about? Like, what else is going on in Sierra's world?
Sierra has a lot of things going on. I'm just a boatload of visions. I really envision helping my community. We're looking for expansion. Dana's Daughters is expanding out to PG County and DC. So we have 2 new chapter leaders. We are looking to go to Delaware, also to Georgia, to Chicago.
That's
within
right.
the next year.
Worldwide.
Like, this is what
Worldwide.
we're doing. We want to have healing hubs everywhere. We will be opening up transitional housing next year for domestic violence survivors. It will actually be a full out program, so it will help you from start to finish for people who are really serious about making that transition. We're also going to be doing like a mobile healing program that will be happening as well. So it's a lot of great things coming up. I just want to encourage anybody who's been through any type of trauma, whether it's been domestic violence, if it's sexual abuse, if you're struggling with low self-esteem, if you're having abandonment issues, if you're going through grief, there is a way out. Healing is available to you, but you have to be an active participant in it.
Yes.
And there's a level of accountability I feel that we don't necessarily have all the time. And so I know that even when I started talking about my abuse, it was always about the other party, like, well, he did this and he did that, but what about me? The accountability for me is realizing that this domestic violence situation didn't just start. This had been going on because of my childhood trauma. And so my accountability was going and getting therapy for myself and really connecting to my creator to find out who I really am.
Yes.
Knowing that I'm made in his image.
So it takes work.
Yes.
It takes work. So it's not going to stop on its own until a person is willing to do the work.
Yes.
And I heard you mention therapy. And first thing you have to do is make a decision.
Yeah.
Right? So make a decision to, I want better. Then have the courage and find one person that's going to support you in that decision, because I know there's a lot of secrecy around it because you don't know who to trust. But it can be done because we're sitting here. We're sitting here saying healing is possible. You can escape your what do you call them? Creeps? No. but your abuser. Yes. You can escape your abuser and you can start your life over. And I know sometimes it may be triggering or things may happen because personally it happens for me. Like, I may smell something and then I have to ground myself because therapy definitely is important and healing from trauma. So it's gonna take work. We have a national hotline that's available also for you. Can you share that hotline? You have Dana's Daughter. You have the House of Ruth. There are so many resources that's available for domestic violence survivors that we need to tap into.
So the national hotline number is 1-800-799-7233. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233. Locally, you have the House of Ruth, and that number is 410-889-8040. For anybody that's, whether you're trying to flee, the House of Ruth also has other resources. They help you with housing. They help you with moving costs. They help provide food. I actually worked there for a little while myself. They really are a great resource. And then Dana's Daughters, we do a lot in the community. We are always available. You can either reach us on our website at www.danasdaughters.com, or you can find us on social media. I'm on Instagram, it's Danas_Daughters_. And Facebook is just at Dana's Daughters. We're always available. People message us all the time. We always give back. We love to give back. And then there's another program that's happening at Morning Star Baptist Church. I'm also the young adult leader there. And so we're doing the Pack and Pray. Okay. And so right now, from October the 15th through October the 30th, we are collecting suitcases, coats, socks, toiletries, underwear, you name it, for survivors. So we're going to keep them in a storage facility, so that if somebody contacts us and say, hey, I'm ready to go, they have to have a plan. Now you already have some sources that's available to you too.
Oh boy, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I thank you so much. You have any last words that you want to share? Because I thank you so much. I really do. I want to bring you back. I want to bring you back. I want to bring Tavia back. Listen, we're going to bring some awareness to some serious issues because we have the conversations, again, that people are uncomfortable with having.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about real life community issues and that there's healing that's possible. So I thank everyone who tuned in. And y'all already know where to find me, DonnaBruceUnlimited.com.
Please follow her.
Please follow me. Just Google Donna Bruce. I will take over Sonji's show again next week. We'll probably be talking about breast cancer awareness. I have to finalize it. And I thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna. I really appreciate you.
Thank
So
you, everybody,
again,
for tuning in.
Yes.
The Donna Bruce Takeover Show.
Woo!
Yes. Thank you, guys.
On the Edge,
With Sonji on the Coyote Man Show Network.
where laughter is our therapy.
With Sonji Lucy and Sekou. We're